What's up, guys? Welcome back. We are doing another German Shepherd Superflex here on Underdog. We got the 1-1. We're getting our boy Allen. Heck yes. Love to have him here. Love to have him here. So this is a Superflex. It is a $5 entry, 20 entry max. I want to say it's 20K to first place. I have to look at that again. But it is live as of yesterday. It is 4th of July, so happy 4th. The video I posted right before this, I drafted right before this, so France is still playing Paraguay. They are still level here, and let's see, 61 minutes. So yeah. And we got the 1-1. We got Josh Allen coming off the board. Now, there is an argument for taking Gibbs or Robinson and then grabbing two quarterbacks in second and third. You can make that argument. I am going to draft Josh Allen and just be happy with it. We'll probably grab one more quarterback here in the 24-25, and then also grab one of the amazingly valued positional players who will still be on the board here. Genty probably won't fall, but we'll probably have like a Barkley, Lamb, potentially, Marion Hampton, whatever. We'll grab one of the positional players there. So if you're not familiar with Superflex, it's very quarterback heavy, as you can see with the rankings there. Superflex is my preferred method of redraft. I commission two leagues. Actually, both are not Superflex. They're both two quarterback leagues. But in this, you have a 1 QB, one Superflex spot, two wide receivers, two running backs, a traditional flex. So that's a little bit different. This is a 20-round draft as opposed to being an 18. It is best ball. So same deal there. You're not managing the team during the year, which is awesome. And yeah, they're $5 entries. So really cool to be in a Superflex environment for money prior to my redraft leads coming up at the end of the summer here. So feels pretty good. Two quarterback leads draft pretty similarly to Superflexes with the high priority on quarterback. The leads that I run tend to actually not have a super high premium on quarterbacks in comparison to these types of leads, so it's a little bit different. Okay, so we do see some positional value go off here at the end, which that's the zigzag, right? Like at this point, past Hurts, I'd say past Williams. I have Williams above Hurts, but you're going back to having Chase, Nakua, and Taylor probably be more valuable assets than the quarterbacks. You'll see a lot of polarizing takes on this as well. Like, for example, the 11 player here decided to go Taylor McCaffrey and stack up a positional advantage and punt on quarterback. Sometimes you'll see folks go really deep on quarterback, hit 3 here in the first 3 rounds or 3 in the first 4, like we did in the last draft, and then not touch it again. So it just depends on kind of how you want to go. Chase, Smith, and Jigba is pretty ridiculous. Living the dream up here. The Hurts player takes Dart. So when it gets back to us, we're still going to have a really nice tier of running backs here, depending on who you want to take out of this tier, of quarterbacks rather. And we'll probably take one, and then look to stack one of the running back assets that is left for sure. I don't think James Cook makes it back, but maybe Genty, Barkley. Prescott's already off the board with a Nakua player, so we're not going to get the Prescott CeeDee Lamb dream down here. But Robinson and Gibbs probably both take quarterbacks here. Oh, nope, Robinson pairs with Genty. One of these folks will take quarterbacks. So what is the next quarterback up for us? You've got Goff, Murray, Stafford, Jordan Love. I really like Shug this year. Really, really like Shug this year. St. Brown goes. What does the Gibbs player opt to do? Okay, so we're going to take James Cook. That's pretty wild that I get Allen and Cook. I do have him on a couple of teams, but we're going to go ahead and take them there. We could actually punt on quarterback, but I don't think I want to do that. And actually, of all these guys, I'm going to reach on down and shoot our shot and pull Shug way up. I think I'm very high on him this year. I don't think he's necessarily better than the Knicks or Murray or Stafford or whatever or Love, but in these drafts, you do want to get a little crazy with it. I'm happy to have him as our second quarterback. James Cook is cool to have with Allen. So Jackson player takes Stafford with St. Brown. Pretty good value there. The Robinson Genty player takes Kyler Murray. That was the other thing we could have done. We could have taken Kyler Murray up there. and stacked him with Jefferson if we wanted. Jefferson goes right after Murray. Drake May, Mahomes, Jefferson. So they're a little delinquent on running back, but they could catch up. Barkley goes to Daniels Purdy. Burrow Lawrence does opt to go bully QB and grab the third one. If there is a QB of any type of value down in here, we'll look to grab one at this turnaround and probably be done as well. If not, we'll just grab somebody super whatever, wonky late. Just grab a third. It doesn't matter. There's still such insane value as it is with super flexes. You still have insane value coming back through here, right? Like you still have Henry, Achan, Hampton, Walker, Chase Brown. The start of the second round in a traditional draft is still on the board here after all these QBs fly off. Our friend here at 11 opting for the zero QB strategy, which is interesting in a super flex, but they are going very robust RB. All right, Williams, Herbert, Tate's Malik Willis here. We'll probably just grab Hampton. Okay, that's cool. Does our zero QB player opt to take a quarterback here with Taylor? They could be looking to pick up Daniel Jones late, but looks like they opt for Sam Darnold. Daniel Jones goes to the Prescott Stroud player with Puka. So Henry goes to Chase and Jidwa Mayfield. It's pretty good. Hurts and Dart could get neighbors here. Instead, they take Cam Ward. Burrow Lawrence Love is done with quarterback, most likely, and will take, whatever value is still left, of which, there's still plenty. Ken Walker off the board. We're going to be looking at an insanely good positional player, and potentially we could take a Bryce Young. I don't really want to reach on an Aaron Rodgers or Mendoza down there, but Bryce Young could be fine to add to the pile. I mean, there's a world we could go Bryce Young and Tet, but we're going to be above Tet and positional player. We could also take like a Brock Bowers and reach on a Fernando Mendoza. I don't know. We'll see. No, Bowers goes there to the Murray player. Love goes to Jackson Stafford. Okay, Gibbs. They take Bryce Young. So okay. Here, I think we just have insane value across the board. Kyron Williams, Javante Williams, etc. I think we definitely want Drake London. So we'll take him, and then we can look for Tua and Penance later, maybe. And then we have the idea for Bride, Hall, Williams, AJ Brown, Nico Collins. There's also Javante Williams down here, which I'm super high on. Which I have Javante with the other quick team. Let's grab, you know what? Let's grab McBride here. I don't know what this does to our construction, but let's just check it out and see. Right? I don't know how this is going to impact our construction. I do think that it may put us a little bit behind, but we'll see. Got to suffer Brissett late. So, we could go with Brissett or Tua late, which is totally fine. France just scored on a PK. So they're up. Going into like the 70th minute. Mendoza goes to the Murray player who also has Bowers. So they have no wide receiver threat so far, which that's okay, I guess. In this format, again, they're going to see insane wide receiver value here in the 60s and 70s, so it's totally fine. Daniels, Purdy, Barkley, Brown, Jacobs. This is a sick team here out of six. I liked it. I like our team too. I actually think our team is great. I don't think we're going to get Olave at 72. Let's actually take a look and see where he goes. He's got to be going higher than that. Yeah, he's at 61. So we're not going to get him there, but that's totally okay. Um, right, we're too high to take him here. I think McBride's a really good asset. And I think that, again, that opens us up for Brissett super late. Brissett's going. Where do we have Brissett going? 81. So, well, we'd have to pull him up here. I don't know if I want to do that, given how much positional advantage is going to be sitting here at 72 and 73. So we'll just have to play that by ear. I'm okay with taking Tua later. Where does Tua go? Or Geno Smith off the board. That's crazy. Aaron Rodgers and Geno Smith off the board in this range. But I guess, again, this is super flex. So Williams, Herbert, Willis, then gets Hampton, Montgomery, and Neighbors. Really good stack out of the 12 slot here. Rice goes to the Sam Darnold, Geno Smith player. Scadabu goes to the. That's a great start at running back here for the stack that this player got out of the 10. Devontae Smith. Great wide receivers here, but you only start two, so I guess they're looking for a wide receiver to wind up in their traditional flex on a pretty regular basis. Judkins goes here to the Hertz Dart Ward player. Hayden's off the board to Burrow player. Great. Um, Loveland. So we probably want a running back in here. There's still DeAndre Swift. Again, I don't think Olave is going to fall, but we will definitely take him. Uh, Bashal Tootin. We want one of these running backs. I know he does. Ibuta's still on the board. And then quarterback wise, we could grab Brissett. I mean, we're going to reach on him. Tua goes at 91, which we'd have to have him fall again. We'll see how this goes. Swift goes off the board. McMillan goes off the board. So I think we can take Bashal Tootin here. So do we want Ibuka and just punt on Tua, or do we want to pull up Brissett? You know what? Let's grab Ibuka. Let's punt on Brissett. He may make it back to us. I mean, who wants him? Yeah, he might not. I don't know. But then if not, then Tua may fall. Brissett or Tua should fall. I should hope. They don't. They don't. They are the next two quarterbacks off the board, but not that concerned about it. Um, yeah, we'll see. See how it goes. Guess we could also grab Penix on a flyer. We don't share. We don't share fireworks here, which is great. Um, yeah, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. And we've got London and Ibuka, Tootin with Cook, McBride. So I will say McBride did actually snap our construction, which I wanted to try here, but he did snap our construction. We were probably supposed to grab a positional player here and one of the quarterbacks here. So lesson learned. We probably had to do that to have a more solid construction, because now we're only looking at Cook and Tootin, which we'll grab a wide smattering of running backs through here, which will all be serviceable. But yeah, McBride there, right there, did snap our construction. So that's good to note for future construction. And I'm gonna attempt to max this tournament out. So these are $5 entries. You do get 20 entries max. I think it's 20,000 at first. I think they said it was 10. Then it's 20. We'll have to look at that. But I'm happy to kind of max this out because I love drafting Superflex. So yeah, we did McBride for science, and I think it stuck us behind. It stuck us behind at running back significantly, right? Instead of drafting a Williams, Jacobs, or a Williams there. So all good in the hood. And I could have pulled Brissett up to 73, but and two of those there. So again, that now we also know for quarterback purposes, because now we're kind of in no man's land. None of these are technically starters. I mean, I know Deshaun Watson or Shadur Sanders is going to be a starter. I just don't know which one or for how long. Same thing with Penix. Like maybe Penix steps in there, but you don't really want to go into Superflex with two quarterbacks. That feels bad. You definitely want three, and I guess in some instances you want four. So lesson learned there. But we're certainly not going to punt. We're still in business here. So as it comes back down to us here, if DJ Moore falls, I'll look to stack him with Allen. I don't think we want to grab Penix now. I think we're in wait mode. I might be wrong about that too, though. So who the heck knows? Don't want Harvey. We could grab Warren and just be done forever at tight end. That's something to consider. We could also grab a Dunze. We get 2 draft picks up here, so. But I think we do want another running back. So who are we looking at? Harvey, Corum, Manungai, Dobbins. I like Dobbins better than Harvey. I think Dobbins is going to be the starter. So yeah, I think we grab 2 of these guys. Warren goes there. So if he doesn't take Moore, we'll take Moore and Dobbins. If he does, we'll take Dunze and Dobbins. I'm cool with that. Hopefully we get more here. Yeah, we do. Sweet. So pair Moore up. And then we'll go ahead and grab J.K. Dobbins, because I don't know why Harvey's going above Dobbins. I guess upside, but I think Dobbins is going to be the starter in that backfield. So our receiver core actually looks pretty good. London and Buka Moore. We've got more stacked with Allen. I think Shard's in for a big season, but I'm not happy with our construction at all. I think we don't have. We're light at quarterback, even though we have premium options, and we're light at running back. and we're light at receiver. Even though we do have Trey McBride, he kind of is the one that's preventing us from being like if we had taken Kyron Williams or Javonte Williams here instead of Trey McBride, our running back room would look a lot better, or one of the receivers, right? And you still have value like Tucker Kraft on the board, and I think I'd rather one of those running backs or one of the receivers we would have gotten in that run plus Tucker Kraft over potentially Trey McBride. But that's all good. That's why you do the drafts and you do them differently. So yeah, lesson learned here. Definitely need to go with another sort of quarterback in this range right here, or we needed to pull Brissett up and just pay the piper for taking McBride, but all good in the hood. All good in the hood. And if Allen stays healthy, which he does, and so does Shud, we didn't need the third quarterback anyway. So, okay, on the back, on the turnaround for us, we'll be looking at the 120, the 121. Ooh, Pennington's there. So we're really in trouble. Uh, I guess we could take one of these guys, but I'm not going to prioritize that. We'll snap off a couple at the end that are just like handcuffed backup guys. So let's go down to 120 and see what we're working with. Quentin Johnson's still going to be on the board. Michael Wilson, Jordan Addison, Chris Godwin. You also didn't have Corey Crosby Merritt, Jordan Mason, Chris Rodriguez, kind of all that range of players, which I like. Maybe a Reed falls, maybe a Sutton falls. I doubt it, but there's also Deshaun Watson, which we could take him. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to pull Concepcion up. Concepcion is going here at 143. So if he falls to us down here at 144, we could stack him. I guess maybe we do that. Somebody might snap off Deshaun Watson, but I guess we could do that and then take one of these wide receivers. Johnson, Wilson, Addison, Godwin, any of these guys. Here's probably won't be there. I'm a little lower on him. Don't know how the injury news is looking. There's also Gainwell in here. But I think if we go to Deshaun Watson, we want a wide receiver probably. Maybe another running back. Yeah, maybe like a Gainwell. I say that because Tootin's going to give us the midweeks, but we're going to want sometimes our running back potentially to wind up in the super flex. Very, very occasionally. So to that end, Cook is probably our bell cow, but probably want one of these higher valued guys up here. Okay, so we'll take Deshaun Watson and look to grab Concepcion later, and we'll take Gainwell. Think he's fine in this range. And then guys we're going to be looking at on the turnaround here, right? We'll definitely look to grab Ray Davis later. I want Ray Davis pretty much in every draft I have James Cook in. Because if Cook goes down, Davis is a very serviceable number two. We've seen that in games. But in this range right here, 144, 145, right, you've got Concepcion. We'll look to grab him. Uh, you've got Khalil Shakir, which I only want him if we have um, Josh Allen, which we do. And you've got Dalton Kincaid, which if we pair Dalton Kincaid with Trey McBride, I'm happy to be done. I'm happy to be done at tight end. So we'll see what falls. It's crazy because we're in the 11th round and now Godwin and Downs and Reed and Kelsey and Kittle are all going off the board, but this is super flex. That's how it goes. The quarterbacks actually make a difference, as you can see how much purple is up here. It's pretty good. All right. Moving right along. Crosby Merritt, Ferguson, Xavier Worthy. So this team that went triple QB here with Burrow, Lawrence Love, then got Walker Williams, then went Higgins, Watson, McLaurin, Kraft, Quentin Johnson, Jordan Mason. So they're probably done at quarterback here, which I kind of starting to like that strategy, and they still have great positional value. They do have Higgins stacked with Burrow. They don't have any other stacks, but I suppose that's okay. The Williams Herbert Willis player got Hampton, Montgomery, Neighbors, Henderson. They then go to wait, they only have Neighbors right now? Neighbors and Wandell Robinson? That's tough. Only one wide receiver? That's really tough. I know you only start two, but you do want two. I mean, even up here where they're passing on Metcalf, Lemon, and Johnson for their second tight end is tough. But they did get that Kyle Pitts stack, which is kind of sneaky. All right, Kincaid goes off. Pittman goes off, that's fine. Kincaid going off there is fine. Um, we'll still have a pretty decent tight end. I like Likely this year. That may get back to us. If not, we can take a couple later. It's totally fine. Here, again, I'd love to grab Concepcion. I'd love to grab Likely if he falls. If he doesn't, that's totally fine. There's still Shakir. Gatson's okay. We're kind of in a different tier of tight ends here, but I don't think I want three tight ends with McBride. So if we can get Likely, who I put in a tier above, which he'd have to fall now. He's at 138. So where's the dart player? The dart player is back there. Okay, we might be okay on Likely. We may get in here. The Tittle player doesn't want him, right? Okay, cool. So we'll take Isaiah Likely. I think he's going to be a good asset this year. And we'll take Casey Concepcion, stack him with Watson. Feel pretty good about that. So Watson pays off as we did get Concepcion. Now, I don't know if he's going to keep the gig this year, but now I'm actually starting to feel a lot better about our construction. Josh Allen, Tyler Should, Watson, Cook, Tootin, Dobbins, Kenny Gainwell, probably the weakest position at our on our team now. London, Ibuka, Moore, Concepcion, feeling much better about that. DJ Moore and Concepcion are both stacked. And McBride and Likely, obviously, we're great at tight end. Um, so we actually kind of salvage. I actually think we salvaged this pretty nicely after starting quote unquote weak. Obviously, now we really need to lean into wide receiver and running back. We're done at quarterback. We're going to probably be done at tight end. So when we look at where we draft from next, which is the 168, 169, we are probably going to want to grab. Let's see what we got here. You got Dylan Sampson is good. Naylor, McMillan, Dewan Jennings, Boston. We want one of these guys. Tank Bigsby's fine too. We probably won't get him there. And then on the turnaround again, we're definitely going to want Ray Davis. I will absolutely prioritize him and go find him. Um, we won't. Sean Tucker won't be in our range. We'll put him down there, but he won't be in our range. So Shakir is just falling. ADP 146, and we're, 153 here. Run on tight ends here in the 13th round. Woody Marks those off the board. Yeah, I love grabbing Likely. I think Likely could be a top 10 tight end this year, depending on Malik Neighbors' health and depending on how he connects with Dart. I think that offense is going to be good. Concepcion paired with Watson, I think, is awesome. Yeah, London, we don't have a stack there or one with Ibuka, but Moore's paired up with Allen. Pretty good. Pretty good. And then, again, we are weak at running back, but we're probably going to grab six running backs and maybe eight receivers or seven running backs, seven receivers. Could be 7-7. If we do 7-7, we still have an extra position. We do 7-8. Stick with two tight ends. It's probably fine. I don't think we're going to see Coleman back when we get on the board, but we'll see. Spears, Toter go off the board. Yeah, we're at 168, 169. So, again, there's some of these guys who aren't going to make it down, but Dylan Sampson probably will, McMillan, Jennings. We should get Ray Davis down here at the 192, 193. And if we don't, okay, no big deal. No big deal. I would like to have him. In fact, maybe to bring him up. Accidentally brought him up because I had him queued in the last draft. But again, when you have someone like Cook, and I know that Tyron Johnson gets some passing play, but if Cook goes down, Davis is your bell cow back. He just is. So maybe actually I do pull him up here. Don't care. Just ensure I get him. Here, Coleman. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Pull him up a full round. Don't give a darn. We'll still get one of these wide receivers here. McMillan, Jennings. Who do we want? We have Ibuka. If we take McMillan, we kind of have that starting to sort of center in on that. Yeah, okay, I'll take him. That's fine. All right. So we've got Allen, Shud, Watson at quarterback, Cook, Tootin, Dobbins, Gainwell, Davis at running back. We'll still grab at least one more, if not two running backs. London, Ibuka, Moore, Concepcion, McMillan at wide receiver. Probably need at least two more wide receivers. McBride and Likely, and we're probably done there. So we'll be drafting at the 192, 193. So if we look down here at our ADP range, we'll be in the Tesla, Stribling, Singleton, Jerry Judy, which I guess Judy's a sneaky back stacked as well, so we'll look to prioritize him. But this is kind of no man's land down here for positional players. Singleton's fine. Yeah, we don't want another tight end. We don't need another tight end. So all right, going into the 86th minute here. France up on Paraguay. Still 1-0. Run it wide receiver. What did our friend to our right do? He went Goff, Nitzion after starting with Gibbs, then went Hall, then went McMillan, Williams, Washington, Parker Washington, Harvey, Wilson, Kittle, Golden, Chid, Sampson, Tucker. Yeah, okay. Seemed pretty good. Like a couple of these teams. Daniels Purdy with Barkley, Brown, Jacobs, Loveland, Evans, Tyson, Downs, White, Parasol, Strange, Hunter, Boston. So they're just doing the two QB thing too. And just picking up tons and tons and tons of value. Team looks pretty good. Double EQB at the start and then just didn't touch it. Murray and Mendoza, I don't love that with Robinson Genty's good, and they've got Barrows with Mendoza, but it's picking up like Kirk Cousins and back late, I guess, is something. Maybe they grab JJ McCarthy just in case too, although I'm not sure you want JJ McCarthy on your team, regardless of what the scenario is injury wise in Minnesota. He was garbage last year. Just absolute garbage. And I was high on him going into the season, but I was wrong. Big B, Tucker. Um, I don't think tomorrow's going to fall, but he'd be interesting if he does. And then, yeah, I think I've got Bernard flagged. I have like no Adonai Mitchell. I've got no Calvin Ridley this year. I've got very little Zachariah Branch. Just maybe we flag him. I just not huge on Jets wide receivers. I guess you could sprinkle a Debo Samuel in there. He's probably going to play somewhere. Where I don't know, but probably somewhere. Kamar goes off the board. Sadiq Johnson. Um, yeah, maybe we'll take Singleton. I don't have a ton of him this year, right? So Rev Singleton, and then we want one of these receivers. Um, let's just pull a Branch. I have more of Jeremy Bernard than I do of Branch, so we'll just pull him up. And with Drake London, this is kind of like a sometimes he'll be the guy, I suppose. We'll grab that. So it feels good. All right, we've got three more draft spots. We're done at tight end. We're done at quarterback. Probably grab one more running back and two more receivers. Um, and we're drafting from right, I mean, literally at the end of the board and then at the very end. So 216, 217 is our next draft spot. Guess Alani's been getting some news. We'll see if he falls. There's Blue, Kamani Vidal. We can shoot a shot on him. Um, and then as far as receiver value goes, you still got like Pat Bryant, Darnell Mooney. And then we'll have the very, very last pick in the draft, which is kind of funny, at 240. And 240, you're looking at guys like way down here. I guess these are all the same group of guys. And it depends on what we take in the next run as to what we want. But, there's plenty of options. Joseph Voss here, Fields. Oh man, look, these guys all have just the widest range of draft because they're all like just shoot your shot guys. So they're all like the same. Kind of funny. I guess Justin Fields is a consideration, not knowing what Mahomes' health looks like, but right, he's playing in right, Justin Fields. Yeah, he's playing KC this year. That's fun. I think Mahomes is pacing to play though. Ayuk goes off the board. You only start two wide receivers in these leagues. So, we've got Drake London and Buka, Moore, Concepcion. We're hoping that one of these two guys is the anchor on a week to week basis, and one of these two guys makes the lineup. And then from there, Shud is sitting in our super flex, and if James Cook and any one of these guys comes to the table, then your flex position is looking at like Dobbins through Singleton, Moore through Concepcion. And one of those guys showing up and putting up flex-worthy numbers is pretty good, especially considering we also have the positional advantage of Trey McBride, and as I likely could occasionally wind up in our regular flex spot. So feels pretty good. All right, this round, Ayuk, Fryermuth, Dell, Stowers, Wicks, Bryant. Everybody's kind of going at ADP here. Again, we're at 216, 217. So, yeah, it's probably Kimoni Vidal plus whomever, whoever you want. All the same, dude. I don't want Calvin Ridley, I'll tell you that. Yeah. Donald Mooney. Justice Hill, he's kind of interesting. Kaleon Black is kind of interesting, I guess, based on what we see. And I think we're going to do um, two more receivers, one more running back. So who do we want here? Vidal or Black? The same prospect right here, right? Like who does what? I guess you know what? Give me Kaleon Black. I'll take him. I'll take. I guess I'm gonna take Darnell Mooney, and then we're gonna take one more wide receiver. I think we'll see who's finally up down here at this crazy range of 240, which these are all shooting. Maybe take a Styler Bell. Yeah, we'll take a Styler Bell if he falls. Pair him up with Allen and see if we can get some good chemistry there late. JJ McCarthy does go. Is this the Murray drafter? Is not the Murray drafter. Okay. Sniped him by one. The Murray drafter wound up with Mendoza and then got Beck and Cousins. I mean, he's got great positional value, but I just don't love and Bowers, but I just don't love his quarterback room, which is important. Yeah, if we can get Styler Bell here at the end, that would be clutch. Then we'll have Moore and Bell stacked with Allen, right? And as is the truth with any best ball, you're betting on your guys staying healthy, right? You're not drafting in a way that says, well, if this guy get injured, that guy, I know I did take Davis to Cook, but I still think that that's completely defensible. Like there's that one, because Davis is a great handcuff. But like in general, you're betting on Allen and Should for this team to stay healthy. Because if they don't, this team doesn't win, and that's okay. Like that's just kind of how it goes. All the money's in week 17, so you got to get there. Now, when it comes to drafting Josh Allen and saying, hey, is he even going to be playing week 17 or will be playing a full game? Not because of injury, but because of the position of the team. I think the AFC is competitive enough that a majority of these teams will still be jockeying for position and will be, even though I'm a diehard Bills fan and I want them to get the number one seed and be so far ahead of the pack, surrender my fantasy football buy-ins with Josh Allen for us to be so far ahead of the pack that Allen's not playing a full game in week 17. Done. Sold. All of that to say, that's probably not the case. The AFC is wildly competitive this year, and I do believe that there'll be quite a few teams in the discussion for that number one seed. So, especially in week 17, I think you have most of your primary players still playing, not sitting out. So, someone did take Vidal. So, hopefully, Styler Bell falls here. As the Allen drafter, I want to be the guy who's high on Styler Bell. I don't think anybody else wants to be the guy shooting their shot on Styler Bell nakedly in the last round, but maybe I'm wrong. Four tight ends, five tight ends for this team. That's probably not right. And what do they have for running back? They only have four running backs: Pollard, Achane, McCaffrey, and Taylor. I mean, they do have Taylor and Achane and McCaffrey. But then they have Darnold, Geno Smith, Penix, and Sanders. Yeah, I don't know about that. And then they take five tight ends. Yeah, I don't know about that at all. Not sure about that. How the middle rounders do. Started off robust QB. They went triple running back Loveland. Then they went up with Evans, Tyson, Downs, Pearsall, Hunter, Boston, Stribling, Ridley. They go four tight ends too. I don't think you want to do that. Don't think you want to do that. Think you either go two or three. And if you go a premium one, you can afford to go two. Yep. Wow, what a pair of saves from Paraguay. I mean, it's still 1-0, but what a pair of saves. Franklin, Brazel, no clue who that is. McCarthy went to the Jackson Stafford player. Yeah, I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. What's the point at this point? But Matt Jones, did that go to the Birdie player? Did not. The Purdy player, rather. Fields, okay. And we're just going to grab Styler Bell. And we are done. All right, team came out pretty darn good. Allen, Shud, Watson, pretty darn good for how we started. Then James Cook, Bijel Tootin, Dobbins, Dainwell, Davis, Singleton, Keon Black at running back. London, Ibuka, Moore, Concepcion, McMillan, Branch, Mooning, Styler Bell at wide receiver, and McBride and Likely at tight end. So we ended up with a 3-7-8-2. I think our weakest room is our running back room, and I think it's because we took McBride. And I think if we had taken a Kyron Williams instead of McBride and had them with a Tootin, I'd like the construction of this team a lot better and just whatever tight ends. But we shot our shot on McBride, and it is what it is. All right, this is awesome. Superflex. We are Superflex, and we are doing it. Thank you for checking out the channel. Thank you for checking out the video. If you like the content, please hit like and subscribe. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one, which I'm going to do like right now after this one. See you later.